your hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
Right, big fixture this, and 168 is what the Titans have managed to put on the board. We find out what kind of score that is, and Jasprit Bumrah announces his return to the IPL in fine fashion. He continues to be a generational talent for India, arguably for his generation. Let's look at where that innings and how that innings shaped up on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout. Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan and Wasim Jaffer. That must have been one of the worst intros I've ever done. Anyway, 168, one of those scores which you need the collective intelligence of the three of you to lean either way. Happier team at half time. Tom?
I think Mumbai will be slightly happier than GT. I think Dew's going to play a factor there. There's a couple of shots that we saw of a little bit of Dew that's on the outfield. And when that tends to happen, you need an extra 15 or 20 runs. So I think they're a little bit shy. But it's a competitive total.
Okay, competitive but slightly shy. Wasim?
I would say 15-20 light, I would say. Mumbai Indians would be a happier dressing room.
Mitch?
Yeah, look, it's pretty much bang on what I thought they'd get, to be honest.
What did you say?
Yeah, 165.
Oh, I forgot about
Chalk
that.
another one up.
I should have started
love
with
it.
that. Mitch
Yeah,
McClenaghan
100%.
predicted that they would get 165 and they've got 168. Let's start the show again. Mitch.
Well, you're three
Reason
off.
well, look, I think it's a decent total, right? Anytime you get a score on the board, around 165, 170, and you've got Rashid Khan and the bank as a bowling option through the middle, I think you're always in with a chance.
They actually started well, and even the middle phase looked like they were building their way to wickets in hand towards the dead. What was the difference at the end? Is it simply Bumrah?
Oh, look, Bumrah was class. He was special tonight on his return for Mumbai. Just shows how much they missed him last year. But I'd have to say the introduction of Coetzee into this lineup, Mumbai's been lacking a bounce bowler to come in and hit the deck and just bring a variation to that attack. And I thought he was exceptional tonight.
In fact, I think it's a story that the Mumbai dugout has not been able to appreciate for 2 years almost. They missed Bumrah last year and the year before that. Also, we were questioning the rest of their bowling, but today it almost seems like they've got two really good bowlers with the return of Bumrah and Coetzee together. Suddenly Mumbai are a strong bowling side again, aren't they?
Yeah, they do, and it's interesting because we're putting Coetzee on that level very quickly. Yes, he bowled exceptionally well, and yes, he can bowl with good pace, but he's still very young. You know, this is his first IPL experience, so first outing, yeah, great tick. You've done very, very well, but it's a long season, and can he absorb the pressure that the IPL puts on any player, and can he bowl at his home venue, which is the hardest venue to bowl?
Yeah, pressure's obviously the factor there. I think the skills that he's got, he hits the deck, which is going to lend towards that little bit of extra pop at Wankhede, hitting the stickers like we saw tonight. I think that'll be important for how he performs at the home ground. So as long as he can deal with that pressure, I think we saw that. He bowled the last over, executed a couple of good Yorkers as well, and finished off the innings well. So take a lot of confidence from that, and I think he's got the skills to do well at home.
Two other storylines there. Hardik Pandya himself, the bowler, and Hardik Pandya, the captain. Quite a creative use of his bowlers, with Coetzee coming in quite late and finishing his 4. I think he's the only bowler who bowled 2 in the power play. But Wasim, opinion on both? Hardik the bowler and Hardik the captain today?
I think we have to be a little patient with him. He's just coming in after a long layoff. So I think captaincy-wise, I think he did okay. He likes to bowl with the new ball because he swings it, even though you would want Coetzee with the new ball, backing up with Bumrah. But that's the place where Hardik likes to bowl. But I thought captaincy-wise, he didn't do much wrong, to be honest.
Any surprises with the choice of their number 4? Omarzai, we thought would play Hardik's role, but when they lost the second wicket, they still have Vijay Shankar, who's often come up and been their long innings sort of batter. But sending in Omarzai at 4, then Miller and Shankar after that. His thoughts on how the Titans have approached their first game without Hardik Pandya?
Yeah, interesting. I was surprised that Omarzai came in at that point because of of Vijay Shankar, who has actually played that role well for them last year. And I think he's a player that needs a little bit more time to get set in his innings. So that was a slight surprise. Just to bring back on the Hardik Pandya conversation around the captaincy, I was a little bit puzzled to the first 6 overs. I think they got away with it to a certain extent, but Luke Wood is a specialist swing bowler, bowled the second over and only bowled 1 over in the power play. If you're picking him, you're picking him to take power play wickets. So, he's a bit like a left-arm version of Bhuvaneswar Kumar. He'll swing it and try to knock a couple over.
And arguably he's playing Behrendorff's role, isn't he?
Yes,
so
he
that's
is.
how you would have used Behrendorff.
100%. And Bumrah only bowling 1 over in the power play. And, to me, in T20 cricket, you need to hunt for wickets in the first 6 overs to set up your game. And I don't think Mumbai had their bowling structure quite right in that first 6 overs.
Which Wood can do, right? He can take wickets at the top.
100%.
And then also...
And he's not a death bowler.
No, he's at the top and take a couple and then come back through the middle and try and break partnerships, you're right.
We saw that the pressure did get to him in what turned out to be only second but last over with Tewatia. And you never know the kind of thing that if Mumbai get over the line, they would perhaps revisit with a little more leniency. Otherwise, we could always have that chat later. But now let's look ahead to the chase, shall we? We'll see something new. Rohit Sharma without the tag of captain of the Mumbai Indians and arguably coming out and playing at a time that he's never played white ball cricket any better. It'd be interesting to see if he can carry that international form into the IPL, because given the last few years, the one thing that's evaded Rohit Sharma has been a blockbuster IPL as a batter. Now, can that change without the responsibilities of captaincy? Could it be unleashed? It's something the panel has certainly leaned towards. He got the second lowest average, Tom, for any top 7 batter in the last 2 seasons, the third lowest average in the power play, most dismissals inside the power play, and you also made a point regarding his strike rate when you compare it to the likes of Kohli and KL Rahul at times. Is this the season to break that? And are we going to see him play in the same carefree yet effective way that we've seen for India?
I think we are. I'm really excited about what Rohit Sharma is going to bring to this IPL, because I think that now that he's not captain and he's at a different phase of his career, he's at the back end of his career. He's proved and done so much over his career as a captain, as a player, and we know that he's got the game to be able to take the game on in those first 6 overs. So there's going to be a lot of anxious bowlers, opposition bowlers, thinking, this is going to be hard. We're going to have to get this wicket. Where before you felt like you could hold Rohit Sharma for a period of time in the power play, I think now he's not going to let anyone hold him.
Did it ever come through when you spent all the time that you did with him that he's not quite the IPL batter in terms of volume of runs or impact that he is outside the IPL, and that his great contemporaries, likes of Kohli and Warner, etc., are even in the IPL? Did you ever get any kind of emotion or?
No, I never really got that feeling, to be honest. I know I've probably looked past any kind of times that he wasn't performing because of how much of an impact he had as a leader. And even those smaller knocks that he had were quite impactful. He's been out in the power play a lot. But I must say, when he's one of the only players I've ever played with that if he can get in and get towards the back end of the innings, he's probably one of the only guys in the world that I feel is unstoppable at the death. Like, he can hit 360 at the end, and if he does have an innings like that during this IPL, it'll go a long way to be one of the most special innings in the IPL.
And I think in this format, Wasim, we haven't seen it as much as we haven't seen when he plays long ODI innings. But that last game against Afghanistan would have been an important game for Rohit himself to get that kind of impact that Mitch talks about. With the World Cup coming up, it's important for India and Rohit Sharma to have more, at least half a dozen or so of those innings in this IPL.
Possibly, yeah. Especially with captaincy not being there, that pressure. Earlier, he used to be that anchor role where the other batters used to take the onus of scoring runs, where Quinton de Kock, Kieron Pollard or Hardik Pandya used to play that role. He used to be that guy they would have liked to see him bat for longer and score runs. But now he's taken the onus of playing a different role, and he's very, very dangerous. And if he plays few innings like that, that's going to be tremendous for himself and for the IPL.
Quick chat on Ishan Kishan before we just wrap things up. And how important this season possibly is for him with everything that's gone down. Who knows, maybe Mumbai Indians don't have him in their top 3. They can only retain 3 Indians. They've already got Hardik, Bumrah, Surya in that, not even mentioning Rohit Sharma. But how important is this season for Ishan Kishan, the batter?
Well, he needs a season of 500 plus to be in the contention. He's suddenly, nobody is talking about him. Everybody is talking about Samson, Jitesh Sharma or KL Rahul. He needs a bumper season. And, you know, for all the other reasons, you know, he's got some flack for missing out red ball games, but this is his time to shine now.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much happening here, and I empathize with any player who had to take a break for mental health reasons, but he has lost his central contract. And you understood the value for Ishan Kishan in that fierce bidding war that took him to 15 plus crore. Wonder what his motivations are at a young stage of his career without a central contract, at the start of a new season with bat. What would you sort of advise Ishan Kishan?
I'd advise him to get the right people around him, both cricket-wise and socially, to help him, you know, take the right path and make the right decisions. I don't know the backstory that well of what's fallen out over the last 6 months, apart from what I've read on Cricinfo. But outside of that, to me, young players need to have key people around them to guide them with their decision making, both on and off the field. You know, at the end of the day, you know, these young players are receiving enormous amounts of money and stardom and recognition, and sometimes that's difficult to manage. And they need, you know, solid, you know, people around them to help navigate those challenges.
Mitch, you know the man well. Just thoughts on what perhaps a friend would say at this stage?
Oh, look, it's probably along the lines as Tom's just said. It's making sure you've got the right people around you. I think work ethic is an important one for Ishan Kishan. When he's working hard and he's focused, he's exceptional. And I think that's what he should do himself justice by putting in the time and the effort to be the best professional that he can be. And we all know that he's got the talent. And from an Indian perspective and from a Mumbai's Indians perspective, you'd love to see his talent come to the front.
All right, well, he's faced his first ball in a while of Azmatullah Omarzai and seen it out. They are literally making Omarzai do the same Hardik role, like no changes, just copy paste Omarzai and put him at 4 with the bat and give him the new ball. I'm very interested to see how this goes. Can also confirm Mohit Sharma has been impact subbed in for Sai Sudarshan. Quick word on the Mumbai Indians impact sub. Should we get there? Would there be a double chat at the moment, Tom? On okay, Brevis, get ready in case we lose an early one. Maybe we'll throw you in. Is it certainly Vadera, or could you look at some middle order options in either Vishnu Vinod or Shepherd? They have the overseas luxury position as well. Tom?
Look, I think they're going to go with Wadera. You know, I'd be surprised if they don't go for him, unless my colleagues here think otherwise.
Go on, Colin.
100%.
Especially with Rashid Khan going to bowl in the middle.
Left hand.
Yeah, you need to have an Indian guy who can play spin well at that stage.
Absolutely.
And Wadera might even bat 3 tonight, I reckon.
Okay, that could happen as well.
That.
Yeah, we'll see when Aman Dheer also gets a chance. Tilak Verma, who himself is now just found on the fringes of the T20 World Cup selection, but a strong performance could just help his cause too. Right, let's get a quick prediction and the accurate and the specific outrageous one as well. Wasim, Mitch, Tom. Right, Wasim.
Mumbai Indians to win with 2 overs to spare. Rohit Sharma quick fire 50.
Ooh, nice. Quick fire from
50,
Wasim.
love
Mitch.
it, yep. Tim David will win it with a 6 in the 19th over.
If Tim David gets in, I think it'll be an interesting game. You know, 5 or 6 at least then, you think, with the strong Mumbai batting. Mr. Moody.
I think Mumbai to win, but Rashid Khan bowling is 4 overs for under 20 runs.
And as Mr. Moody was making that very measured response, Ishan Kishan's had a pretty ordinary start to the IPL. He's nicked off of Omarzai. Anybody wants to reconsider? Anyone going for the Titans? I am going for the Titans, just letting you know. I've decided I'll start putting in predictions now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, mate. Both Tom and I said our safe pick was for Mumbai to qualify, so I think we've got to back them in the first game.
yeah, no, I'm backing him in.
Yeah.
Titans to win it. See you at the end of the Titans win on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket Info Timer. To download the mobile app, we will also revisit the impact zone and see what the standings are for Messrs. Moody, McClenaghan and Jaffer at the end of the day. And this would have shown us round 1 of action from all the teams. So we eagerly await your company. Then we will take your questions and comments to the panel as well. So see you at the end of the game.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.